Hi everyone, welcome again to a new session of the Python. In this session, I will explain you about Python classes and their objects. So let's see about the agenda of this session. First of all, I will explain you about what is classes and objects in Python, then how we can use it, some basic concepts of the OOPS which is available in the Python. Definitely cover one more session on the OOPS concept, but here I will give you some idea and some components related with that. And finally, by using two examples, I will show you how to create classes and objects in Python. So if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing and pressing bell icon for more updates. Let's start. So first of all, what is classes? Class is a user-defined prototype from which objects are created. Classes provides a means of wrapping data and functionality together. So just like if I am taking an example of student, I want to display the student standard and their marks. So basically, marks or subject goes under functionality and marks is the data for that student. So wrapping these details inside the class and using how many times we want or required is basically use of the class. Creating a new class, creating new type of object, allowing new instance of that type to be made. Each class instance can have attributes attached to it for maintaining its state. Class instances can also have methods defined by its class own for modifying its state. Python is basically an object-oriented programming language since its origin. Because of this, creating and using classes and objects are downright easy. So, object-oriented programming is nothing but an OOPS concept, and most of the programming and advanced level programming languages having same type of concept for additional advantage of the programming. So I will give you some or content of OOPS concept which is used inside the Python programming, but not going into detail. So basically class variables, data member, function overloading, instance variable, inheritance, instantiation, method, object and operator overloading is basically comes under this. So we'll give you some basic idea about the class variable and object. In next session, I'm definitely going to create about OOPS concept. As I said, class is a user-defined prototype for an object that defines a set of attributes that characterizes any object of the class. The attributes are data members or the class variables and instance variable and method accessed by a dot notation. Class variable is shared by all instances of the object. Class variables are defined within a class but outside any of the class methods. Class variables are not used as frequently as instance variable. An object is a unique instance of a data structure that's defined by its class. An object comprises both data members and methods. So let's have a look about programming part, how we'll create it and execute it according to our requirement. So for creating any class, we need to use keyword class. So I want to display student data. Because of that, I am giving here the name of as a student and the colon. Now this is my class keyword and this one is my class name. So let's hit enter. I am going to use or create two attributes. These attributes I am going to use in my further part of program. So just like if I want to create one attribute as a subject, and I'm going to provide here the name of the subject is maths. So maths is my subject name. And second, if I want to provide the student class detail standard, so here 9, or you can give it 9. Now in further part of program, if I want to show or create a function, so if you don't know about the function, please watch my previous session so that, or I will mention the URL in description tab, you can refer it from there. So if I want to create a function named as data and I'm using as a self keyword. So this self keyword I will explain you in the later. So let's first create and print this program. So if I want to print this, I need to give it to here. I got, that's it. I don't want to include more words. Self, I'm using here. Self dot subject, and finally the next keyword, next print I want here as a copy and paste it to here. So in this I want standard. So inside this, let me add one object here, or instantiation of object, you can see that. So let me add here the name of the student like Prince, and I'm using here as the same class name as my object name. So student, again print, and this print I want to be use this class name as a to be printed, but I'm calling through an object dot subject, and at the end I want this prints dot data, that is my function name. So let's run this. Now you can see here, first word is printed as my subject, that is maths, because I have provided here as subject name equal to maths here, and prints.data is printed first. Then second part, whenever we are using any class and object together, means whenever we are an object created which is basically a name of the student equal to the student, which is the class name which we have created here. The class only has two classes attributes that tell us the Prince is got math subject, and second it will show us the standard 9 for Prince. So this is how it will work whenever we are using the self keyword. So first of all, what is self keyword here? So class method must have an extra first parameter in method definition. We did not give a value for this parameter. When we call the method, Python provides it. So as you can see here, we have used self, then by using attributes we can display it here. So if we have a method which takes no argument, then we will still have to have one argument. This is similar to just like other programming language, C++ or Java as a reference. So when we call a method of this object, so basically it will work as a myObject.method argument 1 and 2, and this is automatically converted by Python into myClass.method. So this is how it works. So let me give you some idea about init method. So init method is similar to constructor in C++ and Java. Constructor are used to initialize the object and states. So we'll discuss in further session about constructor in Python. So let's recap the complete session. So we have started with the basic concept of classes and objects. Then we have dig dive into OOPS concept, and further part we have created one program and understand about detailed concept of the classes and objects. Then I've explained about the self keyword which we have used inside my function and calling for different details. And finally we have discussed about init method. So this is all about the classes and objects. Hope you liked it. If you really enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and pressing bell icon for more updates. Thank you for watching.